Welcome, everybody,
Welcome.
into double-digit stick drift. Oh my god, I've been talking about this for
10?
weeks. This is episode 10.
Holy shit.
Can you imagine it's not, and I really just fucked up counting?
Yeah, right?
Like, just, missed
There's like
7.
3 threes.
That could be it, too. But how you doing, Randy?
Good. Tired. How are you?
Doing good. We're doing this earlier in the day. Again, kind of a hectic week, and we're going to have a hectic week next week, and I'll mention that in just a second. But we're recording this on the morning of May 30th. So this is Saturday. SGF is going to go into full force next weekend, and we cannot wait to talk about all of the news that's going to be coming out of that. I'm sure that we're going to be getting a lot of dates surrounding that. I'm sure we're going to fill out the rest of the year with everything and see what gets pushed to 2027, what makes the cut, what doesn't. And I'm really psyched to hear about it because we heard a couple of really cool announcements that we're going to be getting into. Well, I guess one really
Not
cool
really.
one.
Yeah, one really cool, one disappointing, but not unforeseen.
Yeah. And you know what? At the end of the day, better to do it than not. But we'll get into that. I'll mention it now because this episode will be going up on Monday, June 1st. Is that a Monday? That's Monday. There's 31 days in May. Sick. Yep. Hell yeah. So this will be going up on Monday, June 1st, like normal. We're going to take the following week off because I'm going to be going to Milwaukee Metal Fest next week, and I'm going to be gone for like 5 or 6 days. So we're going to take next week off, and then we're going to do like a hard reset of this and really try and hone in on getting like the hour-long episodes settled in. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that a little bit more. Again, like, I don't mind longer podcasts, but, you know, I think we need an audience to do that, an audience that cares what we say. And it's very difficult to curate an audience to care what we say when we say an awful lot at first. So we're going to figure all that out, and we're trying our best. So we're going to get there. So this episode is not going to be too involved. For those of you who don't know what this is, we're going to get into the explanation of it when we start talking about it, but we're going to go over our Fantasy Critic League. I'll pull up the boards. You guys can check out the league and everything we got going on. I'll do like a short explanation of what it is. I found out about this game through both Co-op 64 and Kinda Funny doing their own. I thought it looked really cool. Was able to get a group of my own going, and it's been a lot of fun. So, but Randy, we got a little bit of gaming news to talk about first.
Yes, we do. Just a little bit, though.
So I guess we'll start with this one, because I think this one will be the easiest one to kind of just mention. Xbox officially delays Fable into February 2027. So I want to ask you this first, because when I saw that news, I was a little bit surprised, but not because of it happening. I didn't think this was the game to get pushed. You go first.
Okay. I will. So I was a little confused, but only because... Okay, so I did see it as a possibility that Fable would get delayed, obviously. Mm-hmm. I was confused by, A, their reasoning for it, and B, the timing of it. Because wasn't it like a week and a half ago, one of like the lead devs was just like, it's not getting delayed?
Yeah, it was like, very recent. Like, I don't know.
Very recently.
Yeah.
And then just immediately, it's delayed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I actually, what I thought originally was going to be happening, I thought Fable was the slam dunk for the fall, and I thought Gears of War E-Day was being pushed to 2027. Like, I thought...
I could have seen that too, yeah.
I almost thought that was, like, guaranteed to happen. So
I don't see Gears as, like, a slam dunk series anymore. Like...
Right.
And like, I'm very much looking forward to this game. It does look like they're going in the right direction with it, but I'm still not, like... This isn't like a call off work. Like, this is Gears is coming out. Like, it's like, oh, cool, Gears.
So, I mean, like, maybe they're really hoping for, like, a kind of like a reset of the series with the old characters that everyone liked. Obviously, when it got announced that they were going to be doing, like, a prequel about Emergence Day and everything, maybe that's what's giving them a little bit more hope for this game. Again, like, I don't know sales numbers or even, I don't think critical reception was bad at all for like Gears 4 or 5. Like, I think, at least in terms of critical reception, I think it did fine. And I don't know about sales, but if this is being regarded as like any kind of heralding back to what Gears used to be, bringing back these characters people used to love and stuff like that, it could be some kind of, I don't want to even say reboot because it hasn't been long enough to really be considered a reboot, but if this game does anything that brings back those feelings, then I'm all for it. And especially when they announced that their like presentation after their showcase this year from SGF was going to be all about Gears of War E-Day. That's what made me realize, oh, okay, maybe Fable is getting delayed, because this like that says to me, this is our like fall game. We're going to be doing this just like they did with the Outer Worlds 2 last year. They did their presentation with it and pushed it more.
That's fair. I could see that. I didn't really think of it like that. I'm more confused kind of like by the reasoning for like the delay, because they had said something along the lines of like they wanted to give Fable the window that it deserves to like shine, which I understand with like quote unquote like big game releases. Like you don't want to put it near GTA. I get it's a different market, but still you wouldn't want to release it like within the same like month maybe. But other than that, like they were trying to say like their release window was so stacked, and like they've had a picture up of like games coming out, and it's like they had things that first of all have already come out, and then other things like Halo Campaign Evolved and like Gears in there, and I'm like, I don't see that as taking Fable's limelight kind of games. Gears maybe a little, but
it's weird because like I actually didn't even see the graphic that you're talking about with games that they were talking about, but when I think of what's happening in the fall and stuff, you know, I start to list off like even just starting in September, you have games like Phantom Blade Zero coming out. Again, like I'm not talking games that are like Fable. I'm just saying like that you stack together. I'm talking like Phantom Blade Zero. I'm talking Wolverine the week after. Trails in the Sky second chapter remake. That's a little bit more niche, but it did hit a bigger audience. I'm totally blanking on other games, which is not proving my point at all. But I do think like
there is a lot coming out. It's just I don't know how much of that is really like, if Fable was really good, how much of that would matter.
You also have games like Control Resin intensively for the fall. You have a game like Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Whatever else Nintendo would be putting out for the holiday that might be in contention with. And while I do agree with what you're saying, where it's like, well, any of the games I listed doesn't really sound like why I would play those over Fable. If everyone's trying to squish their game in the September, October kind of time frame, it's going to get crowded no matter what you do, and a lot of people don't buy that many games. Even though it's coming to Game Pass, it might just, like I said, I think it's just a smarter move to move it anyway, because what are we losing out on other than
fair
holding off for a bit? And especially at the time like in February, like if it really hits in February, there aren't too many. I feel like most big games don't get moving until March. You get the one every now and then, you know, like we had Resident Evil Requiem back in February. February sometimes has one.
Well, last year, February, March was like stacked.
What was in February last year?
I'm gonna not remember all of them now. There was Avowed, Kingdom Come Deliverance, two, and then like and then like there was a couple games coming out like first week of March or like right after, and it was like maybe not the same month, but like the window was right there. It was like a month frame, and I think there was one or two others too. So it was like,
you know, and you bring up that good point too with like, especially because if you're a game developer, we're seeing it happen with Xbox and Playground with something like as big as Fable. Who else is going to be delaying their game? If you're not hitting that September, October window, you're going to be looking at that February window. So it might run into a very similar problem of like, all right, it looks pretty empty for now, but I'm pretty sure Stranger Than Heaven will also be coming out in February. I can totally see Atlas doing Persona 4 Revival there. Yeah. So again, games that aren't necessarily
6 rumors too.
Yeah, I'd be very. We could talk about. Well, I'll just mention it right now because there's nothing much to talk about. If that game comes out in 2027, I might eat a sock. I don't think there's a shot. It could come out late 2027, but if Persona 4 Revival doesn't come out this year, I don't know if they'll be able to hit it. I don't know if they're going to release both in the same year. I mean, it could be different fiscal years. Like I said, I think P4 Revival is February next year. So they could shoot for late next year for Persona 6, but I don't know. We'll see what they want to do with their marketing campaign. But
yeah, I think it was more. I think they kind of just, when they were saying that they wanted to give it its limelight, I think they wanted to do that maybe a little bit. But I really think based on the gameplay footage we saw performance problems in it. So I really think it just needed more polish. And how many times can you delay a game and say, hey, this needs more polish before people start to worry?
Totally. That could absolutely be the case. So I think you're still right along with me. I'm super hyped for this game.
Oh yeah.
Upset that it got delayed, but you know,
I'd rather it come out good than
that 100%. every time. There's more than enough to play right now, so I'm good. But speaking of games that looked like they had performance problems, I think that's a pretty good segue. 007 First Light.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So I'll say this right now. Neither of us have played it yet, right?
Yeah, I'm not playing it. I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
I'm definitely gonna be playing this one. This one I was hyped for since they first announced that IO Interactive was working on a James Bond game, so I'm absolutely playing it. But good job, IO.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought this game looked terrible. I was wrong. It still doesn't look like it's for me though, so
funny enough, I remember we had this conversation because we were drafting the Fantasy Critic stuff, and I drafted 007 First Light. Was it my first pick?
I think it was, or second or something like that. It was early.
It was literally my first round pick, which was bold. But
yeah, I texted you immediately, and I was like, I'm counterpicking that.
And I'm like, man, fuck you. What do you mean? It's a good thing you didn't counterpick it.
I didn't counterpick it. Somebody picked something that I thought looked worse.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Again, we'll get into what all that means. But, people are really talking about this game. And, we were talking very briefly about it while we were setting up everything for the recording of the episode. This, if nothing else, I think this game speaks to that people miss Uncharted.
Yeah.
People miss that more tailored linear experience, and I understand that there's some sandbox stuff that IO does fantastic with Hitman. But this is that 10 to 15 hour narrative driven story that people really love, that people want to get their hands on in a game that IO does gameplay elements as good as they do with their sandbox stuff. And people were shocked that this was it. I'll put it this way. I listen to Kind of Funny, like I say all the time. And I think that they had a quote from themselves. I don't think it was any other gaming outlet. I think it was them saying it, that they were like, this feels like the next step up for IO Interactive. And I thought that was very interesting. So I'm like, is it the next step up? Or is it just the same level,
but different,
in something that you guys enjoy more? Because
that could be it too, yeah.
Because I think I think Hitman gets slept on. For everything you can do, for the amount of freedom, the sandboxy nature of what they do, I think is next to none. That's not for everybody, though. So people can look at that and be like, well, I'm not fucking touching that. And then this comes out and they're just like, oh my God, these guys might actually be cooking. And it's like, I think they have been. They're just doing something a little bit more tailored to you. But like I said, I think more than anything, this speaks to the fact that people miss Uncharted. People are missing that Naughty Dog experience that they were doing with that kind of shit. And I hope that Intergalactic will deliver on something like that. I don't know much about Intergalactic, but it's cool to see another studio taking this IP and doing real well with it.
Yeah. Definitely.
I saw some gameplay. Looks really fun. I cannot wait to try this. And you said you're going to pass on this, right?
Yeah.
Totally fair. Anything else you wanted to add with that?
I guess just really quick, while we're on the topic, it'll take like 30 seconds. While we're on the topic of like stealth, like sandbox kind of games. I don't know if this one's stealth, but the Dishonored thing. I don't know if you saw that. The developers. Did you see it or no?
No, I didn't.
So basically some of the original developers of Dishonored were doing a playthrough on YouTube, and they were kind of just talking about like some of like the stuff in the development of that game, and I just found it interesting and thought you would too. There was something they had said in like episode 1, and I'm not remembering the whole like thing, but in original concept design, Emily was supposed to be Dowd's daughter, pretending to be Jessamines' daughter.
Yes, wait, I did see that.
Yeah. I just think that's really interesting, and I think they could have done something with that. But I like how it turned out anyway, so I'm not really like disappointed. But I think that would have been an interesting plot line too.
That's so cool that they were just playing it on YouTube. Man, I love like developer commentary when you get to shit like that.
Yeah,
it's so fucking cool. But yeah, okay. So 007 versus Light. And then the other thing that we wanted to bring up, because again, we're gonna have a lot of news from SGF. I was considering just like pushing all this and just talking about it all together, but Randy also brought up a good point. There's gonna be a shit ton of news to talk about then, so may as well just get this stuff out of the way. Also, it's funny that almost all the news that we're talking about does bring back to our Fantasy Critic League, because Nick's dropping Fable, of course, because it got pushed. We had 007 First Light that did really well. And now for the third thing that was involved in our Fantasy Critic League, The Witcher 3 DLC officially got announced as Songs of the Past, and it's releasing in 2027.
I had this game originally and ended up dropping it because I thought that they were going to be announcing it a little bit earlier. And when they didn't, I was like, maybe people were just like, maybe this just was people were blowing smoke. Like nothing happened. It wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
It turned out it was a thing. People weren't like lying when they said that, but the release dates and everything, people thought it was going to be like shadow dropped and stuff in like, I think in May.
Yeah.
And so like I just dropped it like 2 weeks ago or something when they still hadn't heard anything. And I was like,
I don't even know if it was it literally may have been last Saturday. It was either last Saturday or the week before, but I do think it was last Saturday. And
good thing I did, because it's not coming out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I know you're not the Witcher guy. I will absolutely jump back into the Witcher for this. It does seem like, again, I didn't pull up any news stories because we want to get going on the Fantasy Critic stuff, but this definitely seems like it's going to be some kind of lead-in into the Witcher 4 or something like that. Like, they were talking about it briefly. Again, I didn't look into it too much, but
the only thing I saw was that I don't know if it was one of the developers or just the company as a whole who announced this, but somebody did say that it is an expansion, not a DLC, so it will be bigger on the bigger end.
I think I saw that same quote. Again, I don't know who said it.
Yeah.
It looks looking like they're talking like 30 hours of content. Like, it is a full blown expansion. So if you're a Witcher guy, look forward to that. I'm fucking sick. All right, Randy, should we get into the Fantasy Critic?
Let's do it.
All right, guys, I'm going to share my screen real quick just so you can kind of see what the whole thing kind of looks like. Just making sure there's no like email information on this page. Okay, good, there's not. I'll give I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to give you like the quick rundown of what this of what it looks like. Randy, I know you can see the screen right now.
I also have mine also like already pulled up. So
okay, cool. So yeah, basically how it works is it's literally like it's a fantasy draft. I've never played fantasy football, but it's very similar. You get your people in, which in terms of this league, we got 9 people. And in case you guys don't know, I stream on Twitch under the name Spirit in Black. If you're coming from those streams, or you've been in those streams, or you come to those streams after, you'll probably recognize most of these people, except for Joe Frome, who's leading by a lot.
Yep.
Fuck him. He's not even real. But yeah, you basically, how we have it set up is you draft 5 games in your initial draft. It's a snake draft. So this wasn't the official order, but if it was, Jerome would pick his first, then would go to Black Belt, and Blood Trip, me, Joker, all this. When it gets down to Randy, who's currently in 9th place, you piece of shit, he would pick his first one, and it's a snake draft, so he'd pick his second. You basically go up, and you can determine how many you want picked. We do 5 games, and once all that is done, we pick a counter pick. For every point that a game scores over 70, you get 1 point to your Critic League. For any point it scores below 70, you lose points. It scales differently too. So like, if a game scores 33 like fucking Mind's Eye did last year, it's not going to destroy it. It's like you lose a certain amount of like 1 point per point under 70 to 60. And then I think it goes to half a point, and then at some point it just peters out to nothing because they're just like, we can't do that. And then same thing in the other direction. I think there's only 2 games that are above a 90, but Forza was 91. Mina the Hollower was a 93, although that's interesting that it's not doing. For any point above 90, it doubles each point above 90. So if you get a 90, it's 20 points, but if you get a 92, it should be 24. So I don't know why it's showing 93 for 23. I gotta look that up, but that's typically how it works. The counter pick, everyone got after their initial 5 were picked, and this works basically the opposite. The counter pick is, you want to pick a game that's either not going to release, or a game that will score poorly, because the points are reversed. So a counter pick, our friend Joker, counter pick Mario Tennis Fever, that was on our friend Nick's board. So Nick, it scored a 77, so Nick got 7 points, but because it scored a 77, our friend Joker lost 7 points. It's very hard to find it's pretty hard to guess a game that's going to score lower than a 70 most times. So a lot of times your best bet is to just mitigate your loss and say, hey, I'll come out with an even 0 and just pick a game that's not going to release for the year. we talked about dropping games as well. You cannot drop a counterpicked game. So that's another piece of the pie here. But other than that, I think that was most of the rules that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, basically in summary, you pick games that you think are going to do well. You counterpick a game that somebody else picked that you think is going to do poorly. You get points based on how right you were.
Yeah. So we have it set for 10 games for the year. We draft 5 initially, and then we have to pick up 5 as the year goes by. You'll probably see over here on the right that everyone has their own budget. Basically, with the budget, you start with 100 points. You put in to make a bid for a game. We have it done so it's a secret bidding where you can't see how much money other people are putting in for the same game. All of these things go in on Saturdays at 8 p.m. EST. So you can make a bid Friday at 3, Thursday at 2, but on Saturday at 8, you'll see if you get the game. All that kind of stuff get added in. Like I said, just be the highest bidder for the game by the end of the week, and you get it added to your score.
I would like to point out, because you like to point out that I was in last place, I didn't pick bad games. I just picked games that don't have a release date, which is a problem right now.
And it's like, you think it's a problem now. Imagine what it was like in December of last year. Like, this really was like halfway through everyone's first round picks, we just kind of were like, what do we do from here, guys? Like,
yeah,
like it was like, you'll probably see it. Like, if you pay attention to everyone's top picks, you're going to be like, that's an odd pick for your second and third. It's because nothing had release dates at that point. Like, this was a major.
I did also just notice a problem with my board because I did want to drop something else, but I only have 1 pick left. I only have $5 left in my budget.
Yeah, that screwed over Blood Trip last year. Yep. We found out that you can't even bid for a game with $0. It doesn't let you pay.
I'll have to try and just they throw $1 and just hope nobody else even makes a bid.
Yeah, that's probably your best bet. How much? Because I don't have a lot either. I have 27.
I feel like honestly that doesn't matter too much. What I've noticed is like nobody is really on at the same times throughout the year, so it just. I could have just bid $1 for all of my games. Nobody even because I bid like I think $5 or $10 for mine, and nobody even tried with me. So
you can. I can take a look too to see like all the actions per week. I don't think anyone has bid on the same game yet this year.
Yeah,
which is hilarious. I can double check that.
So
yeah, so you could have saved a lot of money.
SGF, we're probably going to have a problem with that because a couple people are going to try and bid for the same stuff. So
yeah, because I mean, we have 2 people, both Joker and Biggest Thonk, haven't picked up a single game yet. So they're probably, if they're paying attention, they're probably going to want to pick some stuff up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys have the hard rules. We're going to go through each board, of course, in the comments. Let us know who you think looks the best. It's obviously hard to tell when someone only has 5 games on their board versus someone who has a full board. And we know the answer is Jerome. Like,
yeah, I genuinely, I don't think it matters. I think he's winning.
Yeah, I actually mentioned this. I was like, we're in a fight for second, because the thing is, you look at first place and second place, and, 8 points isn't like that massive of a difference. But also, Jake's board has Persona 4 Revival on it, which is not coming out this year, which is projected for 11 points, meaning his actual projection is 99. So he's like a full 20 points away from him realistically. Again, this is all under the assumption that Persona 4 Revival isn't coming this year, but I would eat a sock if Persona 4 Revival comes out this year.
Yeah, I still don't think it matters though. Like Jofromes, Jofromes, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Honestly, me neither.
But Trails in the Sky is pretty much a shoo-in for at least like a 75 to 80 at the bare minimum. Like it's going to be getting him points. And then Deltarune is probably going to review pretty well. I don't know about Ace Combat 8. I feel like those games usually review decently. I don't know. I think actually 7 didn't, but we'll see. I don't know anything about Resonance, but if it's a Plague Tale, I think those have always reviewed well too. So,
and it's like Trails in the Sky first chapter I think is a 91, which is fucking insane. And I think second chapter it probably won't score better. It should score better, but I think what'll happen is it'll probably trail off a little bit. So I feel like if I'm going to make my prediction, you guys can come back to this video later. I'm betting 87.
I would bet around there too. I think people like it probably the first one, even if this one is equal to in quality, people are just going to be more high on the original, and it being the first remake. Like, oh wow, they did a great job with this kind of thing. Second one, now there's expectations of that. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's get into some boards. Let's talk about some scores. Let's talk about some games, man. So we have our first board from our friend Joker. Again, if you guys come from my streams, we used to do a lot of randomized Pokemon Nuzlocke together. With his awesome company name, Bethesda, dude. I love it. His first pick. This was I think he was the first one to go.
Yeah.
First round pick was really damn good with Resident Evil Requiem. You know, I definitely wanted that on my board. That was one game that I had listed. But scored an 89. Pretty damn good. Talked about highly. I think that's a game of the year contender. That could I wouldn't be surprised if we see that up at the 6 by the end of the year. I know it came out early. Recency bias could push it out, but scored well, and people talk about it, so that's sick. Second on his board, Pokemon Pocopia.
The game that really well.
No one kind of saw coming in this sense. I think it is still technically the highest scoring Pokemon game of all time. So shout out them.
Yep.
He picked up Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, which has a release date, I believe, of August 6th. Randy, do you know anything about that game?
No.
Me neither. Sick. Pokemon Champion.
I'm assuming it's a fighting game.
So. Yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it. I'm not the fighting. I'm not the fighting game guy. I'm also not the Marvel guy. So this is totally out of my wheelhouse.
So it's kind of honestly pretty similar, but like I wasn't even like massive, and I never got like really good or anything. I had some fun with it.
Fair. He picked up Pokemon Champions, which I still think is just a weird game to have a score in general.
Yeah. And I find it weird that it got that low of a score. I don't think it's like amazing, but I think it does what it said it was going to do.
Yeah,
so I feel like a 70 to 75 is probably fair for that.
Yeah, I found it odd that, like I said, that it was getting scored almost at all, because I'm like, realistically, if you like Pokemon battles, this should be fine. And when it first came out, it had a score of like a 54, and it lost him like almost all of his points he had gotten from Pocopia. And I was like, all right, that seems a little harsh. Even I wasn't.
I get some of the complaints with it, where it's like it's locked at 30 even on the Switch too, probably because of mobile devices. But why don't you just have it? It's not like it's going to give you a competitive advantage. It's a turn-based game. It's not like an FPS, so why is it locked?
Right.
But even still, it's a turn-based game. The 30 FPS doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
So, like, I get they removed like held items and stuff, and people didn't really like that, but.
Yeah,
they're going to add them back at some point, so I'm assuming the score might even go up higher later in the year if another season like adds a lot of the stuff people wanted. So
yeah, and if people rescored or scored then, like I said, just a very weird game to score in general. Yeah, but I understand. And then Dave the Diver in the Jungle, a DLC for it. I believe that also has a release date of sometime in August, July.
Did you go turn on show projections so we could see like their current like projected scores?
Sure. Yeah. I love it's just all 7. Wait, why would this be 8?
It's probably expected to get a 78.
My eyes were completely fucked. Yeah, I thought the 8 was for the first blank space, and I'm like, why is the first blank space projected for? Okay, no, that makes more sense. But yeah, I don't know much about Dave the Diver. I know it was a big indie game in 2023. So hopefully this expansion does well for him. Expansions are always risky because do you have enough? Is the game big enough to get a player base back to play the expansion?
I think Dave the Diver is the kind of game that is.
Right, it could. I mean, I had 2 expansions on my board last year that were 2 of my highest scoring games. It was the Sea of Stars Throws of the Watchmaker DLC and the Liza P. Overture DLC. So those did really well. But we also have another DLC on someone else's board that didn't get scored. I believe Biggest Stonk picked up the Ninja Gaiden 4 DLC, which I don't think was a good idea to begin with. But
yeah,
but hopefully this one will get enough points to get him some.
I hope
enough
it
reviews.
Doesn't. I want to win.
You know what, Randy? You're not projected for that. Oh, you're projected for 8th. Oh, you suck.
Yep.
Okay. And then he counterpicked Mario Tennis Fever, like I was mentioning. Yep. So Jake's board, he's projected for 2nd currently. And his board, again, looked pretty damn good. He started off with Saros as his first pick. Great first pick. I figured Housemarque was going to score well. Returnal did pretty well. So it got him at 87, which is great. That's a damn good first pick. Second, he had Lego Batman, which again was probably going to do well. I'm not surprised now, knowing what the game is, that it scored so well with an 85, knowing that Rocksteady was like the developers of this game.
Yeah.
But 85, fantastic for that. He picked up Onimusha Way of the Sword, which I don't know much about Onimusha. I do believe it's a reboot of the series. They're coming back after a while. It's one of those where I'd be like, yeah, this is going to do pretty good. And you know what? It's Capcom, and they're just kind of fucking killing it right now. So I feel like an 80 is probably, like, as long as it's a good game and does what they've been doing, I think 80 is the floor.
Yeah.
Maybe high 70s if they run into some problems, but if they're going through the trouble of rebooting it, I think it's going to do well. Persona 4 Revival, like I said, it's probably next year. I'd be shocked if it's this year. But again, I don't know what Persona 3 Reload scored, but I think it was in the 80s, so this should be fine. Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, another remake. I can totally see this getting dated at SGF. So
is that a remake or a reboot?
This one's a remake. So there were 2 Tomb Raider games announced at the same time.
Yes.
One of them was
the remake one. Okay, yeah.
Yep. I forget what the reboot was called, but yeah, I'm not gonna be able to pull it. But they both got announced at the same time, and I think so. This one's this year. The reboot is next year. Then he picked up the World of Warcraft Midnight expansion. Got him an 84, which was pretty good. Crimson Desert, which was very divisive, even still sitting at 79 with 9 points, is pretty
I think
good.
By the end of the year, that might go up a little more. They're still regularly adding like updates of what people, not even just content, but like just things that people were like, why wasn't this in there to begin with? Like just recently, they like I don't know if you played it at all, but like certain characters that you could play as can only use certain weapons, and I know like they changed it so that the main character can now use like some of the guns that other characters could use. So they're like things that people wanted to be able to play as, but with this character, they're doing that kind of thing. They just added like more mounts to the game. Like you can like hatch like a dragon or hatch like a wyvern, and then in a later update, you'll be able to use it as a mount. And like, yeah, I
heard that.
They're still adding stuff really that people wanted, so this might go up more if people rescore.
That's fair. Fatal Frame 2 remake, Crimson Butterfly, 6 points. I don't know anything about that game, so
yeah, I don't know
good for him. Good for him. Picked up Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. Ray, there's a demo out for it. Did you play the demo?
No, like I said, I don't know if I said actually in the previous episode, but I don't play demos or like betas of single player games because then I'm just gonna not remember what I did, have to restart, but then vaguely remember something and get bored. And then I've played like a couple hours in the demo, so I wait until the game comes out.
I did download the demo because you hit me up and you were like, "Thinking you're playing this?" And I can confidently say, probably not.
No. You know what's funny? I had another friend who I asked about it, and he was the exact opposite as you. He didn't care at all. Then he downloaded the demo, and he's like, "This is pretty fucking fun. I might get this."
You know what? Because like it's really cool, but so is Legend of Zelda, and the story and stuff didn't grab me in any way, shape, or form. Where I was like, I need to know what happens next. That's just a personal thing. I don't think it was done poorly or anything. Yeah. But if this game comes to Game Pass, this is absolutely something I'd be like, "Oh, I'll download that and give it a shot." But it's not. But I'm also not a Legend of Zelda fan, so like I'm not jumping in. I'm
looking forward to this, but not like I'm not like mind blown from what I've seen. I just think this looks like a fun game. So,
100%. And then Star Fox. Well, actually, what's the date of that? Adventures of Elliot is June 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Star Fox is June 25th. So,
I think I gotta say about his board, he grabbed a very boring but like safe board.
Mm-hmm.
And from my point of view, there's a lot of games on here that I don't care about, but like I just look at them and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna score fine at least.
So let me tell you, man, and it's rough because when you guys are picking your boards, here's the thing that I didn't like. Not you. You were not guilty of it, especially based on what your fucking initial picks were.
Yeah.
It got to the point, I'm like looking at games, I'm like trying to build out my strategy. All right, if this gets picked, I'll pick this. If this gets picked, I'll pick this. And what everyone else said they did, they're like, oh, you did all that? I just went to what's coming out and just picked the highest like projected point game. And I'm like,
no, see, the thing is, like, I think I was at work when we were picking, and I just picked games that I knew I wanted, or at the very least, actually, I think Control Resonant, I might have picked that with originally, because somebody else picked the stuff that I wanted, and I didn't think of it. But then every other one was, like, something I was genuinely interested in. So
yeah, that's fair. But, like, yeah, it kind of sucked, because they were just like, oh, yeah, I'm just picking, like, the games that look like, that are going to score the highest based on their projected points. Because you can list it by saying, like, hey, I want highest projecting points that are, like, point games that are releasing next year, and you could just have a list going down. And I'm like, Man, that fucking sucks. Because that kind of defeats, like, at that point, it's not a draft. It's just you clicking on the top one on the list.
Yeah, I think that's why it works a little better with like
time.
fantasy sports and stuff, because there's hundreds of players and like
yeah,
he doesn't
100%.
Yeah.
But he counterpicked Stupid Never Dies, which doesn't have a date, but it's projected for a 70, so it might get him points, it might lose him a point,
Safe pick
wherever
again.
that could lie. Our friend Blood Trip God with his board with Leviathan's Pearl. GTA 6, still slated for November 19th, 2026. Perfect pick this year. No one was going to counterpick it because it's more likely for it to come out. No one wants to lose that many points.
Yep.
So good job on that one. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. I did not think that game looked good when we saw it at SGF.
Did not either.
It scored better than I thought it would, so got him a 73. Invincible Versus, again, another fighting game.
I thought this looked terrible, and I counterpicked it, and it's fine, apparently, so...
Yeah, so it lost you 8 points, but it got him 8, so not too bad.
Yeah.
He picked up Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred DLC, with 13 points, getting him with an 83. Decrepit doesn't have a release date yet. I think that's one of the few games... Yeah, still just slated for 2026. Cool-looking art style, but I don't think we know too much more about it, honestly, so it's only slated for 71, so we'll see what happens. And again, I don't really know how they get their projected points and where they're kind of guessing where it's going to be getting their points from. Oh, and this was something I didn't mention. For those of you who do follow this, or who don't follow this game and are just finding out about it, but know Metacritic and stuff, this is not Metacritic's score. They go off of a website called OpenCritic, which is like Metacritic, except it doesn't weigh certain publications. So Metacritic has different gaming outlets that they'll weigh higher than others. OpenCritic is just all equal, so they're all taking the same aggregate scores. They're just weighing them differently. But Marathon got him an 81, which again,
I was surprised by that.
Yeah, for all the divisiveness around it, especially before launch, 81 was pretty good for where they wanted to land. So
yeah, I know the game's not doing as well as they had hoped, but
but
I feel like that says a lot about those reviewers when the game everybody reviews it fairly highly, and then players just don't care.
Yeah, it's one of those things like
it's not doing bad. It's not doing awful. Like it's not dead by any means, but it's definitely not what Bungie wanted it to be.
Right, which says a lot for where Sony wanted it to be.
Yeah.
If it's not doing well in Bungie's eyes, it's not doing well in Sony's eyes. So
yeah. Right. Like right now, it has 6,700 players on Steam. This is a Saturday morning that we're recording this on, so 6,700 on a weekend. That's pretty low. Yeah, for a multiplayer game like that.
And again, those are just Steam numbers at the end of the day. But you're not.
It shows the level of success that the game relatively has.
Yeah. You have to imagine a game like that. You have a lot more people playing on Steam than probably console, and it's just not.
I just want to say really quick. I think the whole concept of like an extraction shooter like that was a bad idea. I think a lot of developers are making extraction shooters right now. And it feels weird to me because while Tarkov took off, I think it didn't get to like Fortnite levels, but it did explode. Like Tarkov's huge.
Huge.
And I think there hasn't really been a second one where people are like, it's blowing up too. Like with Battle Royales, you had PUBG, you had Fortnite, you had Warzone, you had a bunch of them that actually blew up. So I understand why a lot of developers did it. There was one extraction shooter that really blew up. Why are all the developers like? It's like they're trying to force it to be the next big thing.
Yeah, it was, and especially with like, I mean,
actually, wait, sorry, Arc Raiders did blow up now, but
I was gonna say, do me a favor, can you see what the concurrent player count for Arc Raiders is now?
Yeah, because Arc Raiders is just like that casual one, but I still feel like there's not enough. Check
to see current player count for Arc Raiders.
Oh,
I don't think there's a lot. I don't think there's a lot of people playing Arc Raiders now.
I think Arc Raiders is still huge.
I mean, it's going to be bigger than Marathon, but I mean, comparatively.
Right now there's 53,000.
Okay, I mean, like that's still
on Steam,
significantly better. Yeah,
still
significantly better.
But yeah, like it's not like everybody's trying. I feel like developers are trying to make it a Fortnite level thing with these games, and it's not a genre that can happen with.
No, I mean,
so
it's what happens. You chase a trend. I don't know why it's happening so much.
That's the thing.
Is
like I feel like they're trying to force a trend.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's weird. He then picked up Blood of the Dawnwalker, which now has a release date of September 3rd, I believe. This game looks interesting enough. Like
I'll keep my eye on it. It looks good. But
yeah. Warhammer 40K, Dawn of War 4. I don't know anything about this series really, and especially not about this game. And do you know anything about it?
It's like an RTS. Not really. Yeah.
Oh, it's like an RTS, and not really. You don't know much more.
Yeah. Sorry.
I thought it was in comment to your immediate.
No.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, but yeah, so that's slated for September 17th. And then he picked up Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf, which got him 12 points with an 82. He still has one game to pick up throughout the year, and he counterpicked Pokemon Champions, which got him 5 points.
You know what's funny is, like, I've been on this board a lot. I've been following, like, games that come out a lot. This is the first time I'm hearing of Planet of Lana 2.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know much about the first one. Yeah.
It seems interesting, and I think they're both on Game Pass. I actually kind of wanted to give them a shot, if for no other reason than just knowing what it is. But
yeah,
we'll see. Nick's board. Nick's board looked fine at first.
I was surprised based on his last year's picks.
Yeah,
he actually tried this time.
Yeah. Well, the problem was, I think he tried last year. I think he just made a couple of really big missteps, such as picking up Mind's Eye and picking up Black Ops 7. Was it Black Ops? Yeah, it was Black Ops 7 last year.
From my understanding, Nick's opinion of games should not be taken into consideration.
You guys will know that when you get to Nick later. It is funny because, like, every once in a while, I mean, to be fair, I also didn't know much about Mind's Eye. That was a really big misstep. Black Ops 7 was also,
if you look into, like, even the, like, most minute amount,
probably you would have found some odd information out there. And Black Ops 7, because, like, coming off of Black Ops 6, what did Black Ops 6 score? Hold on, I'm going to open Critic and figure that out.
Yeah.
Because, not that Call of Duty scores incredibly well a lot of time, but I feel like Black Ops 6 scored okay.
I feel like that's a safe pick. Like, I personally don't like Call of Duty, but it's like a safe pick. Like, it shouldn't be, like, horrible.
Black Ops 6 scored an 83, which it seems kind of like the ceiling for what Call of Duty's doing now. And yeah, Black Ops 7 was a 65, so it dropped.
Yeah, apparently that one's campaign was atrocious. I didn't even touch it.
Yeah.
I just kind of have a principle thing with Call of Duty now, and, like, the way that they, like, bloat their launcher and games in, like, size so that people who don't have a ton of time to play games can't install other games.
My favorite for it was like, oh, why is this so big? Oh, because my saved data is 50 gigabytes. Why the fuck is my saved data for Call of Duty 50 gigabytes? Well, the saved data was only about 10 kilobytes. Then you look at the rest of it, and it's just 49 gigabytes of reserved space. All right, well, could we get rid of the reserved space, please?
No, because then you'd have room to download and play other games and not theirs.
It's true. Okay, but this year for Nick's board, Marvel's Wolverine, which is coming out on September 15th. That's Insomniac. I think a lot of people have faith. I have faith. I think it'll do well.
Yeah.
Halo Campaign Evolved. We'll probably get a date for this at SGF. A lot of people are thinking summer. Some people are still thinking that fall date to try and hit that 25th anniversary for Halo. It's slated for 78. I could see this falling in so many different places because I can see it hitting that 70 area if people don't fuck with the new missions, if people don't like the style of it. I can also see it scoring higher if people do fuck with it. But
I don't think the style is going to be much for, like, contention, because I think I haven't heard too much discourse about it. I've heard a couple people not like it, but
I don't mean art style. I mean like adding the sprinting, adding
okay.
that. Yeah. I guess style wasn't the right word for that. More like mechanics that wasn't in the original that people are going to be like, and it's like, well, you could turn it off.
Yeah,
it's not like it's multiplayer where you would be at a disadvantage for turning off sprint.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like as long as it runs, this is at a bare minimum. It's not going to go below 70. It's a fine pick.
Agreed. Yep. Super Meat Boy 3D came out and got him a 76, got him a 6 points. Mario Tennis Fever we talked about, got him a 77. Fable just got pushed. So what that symbol is that means that this game will not release this year. So I do believe I texted him about that, and I think he said he already dropped it, so it should show up tonight that it won't be there. And then he'll be able to pick up something else. He also picked up Hollow Knight Silksong, Sea of Sorrow. That was a ballsy fucking move, Nick, because that game ain't coming out. That game we will hear nothing about until 2028. Find out that it's a full-blown sequel, and then it'll go fucking radio silent until 2034.
2035. Yeah.
So, I mean, here's hoping that something comes of it and that it's a little bit sooner. We'll see. I don't really have faith. High on Life 2 he picked up, which was also a ballsy move. When he texted me he did that, I was like, Nick, you're just going to make the same mistakes you did last year.
Yep.
As much as I did enjoy High on Life 2, I honestly think it deserves more than a 73, but it's a 73. Got him 3 points, whatever. Cult of the Lamb, Woolhaven, the DLC expansion from Cult of the Lamb, really fucking high, 86. Hell yeah. And Ghost of Yotei Legends was the multiplayer update that they put in for Ghost of Yotei, which sucks because, well, I can't show you guys. I would have to change the whole picture thing. But basically, when a game is getting scored, so what you'll see with this symbol is that the game has released and has a page on OpenCritic, but not enough reviews yet. So I believe it needs either 3 or 4 top critic reviews. Like I said, they're all weighed the same, but there are critics versus top critics. And if you don't have enough top critic reviews, doesn't matter.
Yep.
Which sucks, because you go to that page and you see those scores, it's an 8, an 8.5, an 8.2, an 8.5 again, another 8. And it's like, he only needs one more score to count, but there are 2 top critic reviews that are unscored because they didn't put enough time into it when it came out. And this was right around the time that Marathon was coming out, a couple other games. So they were just like, yeah, we probably won't get back to this to score it, and that sucks.
Yeah.
So another thing to keep in mind when you're drafting games for this. So if this does end up getting like even just one more person, it'll probably get him anywhere between 10 to 15 points. So we'll see. And then Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced.
Good pick.
Yeah, I originally didn't pick this up because I was like, I'm not gonna risk that one, but it'll probably do well enough.
Yep.
And he counterpicked Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, which lost him 9 points. Crazy. Shout out Tomodachi Life, apparently. I guess.
Yeah.
The next board on the list is our friend Biggest Thunk, with Goofy Goobysoft. Awesome name. First pick with Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflections. Great pick. Again, another Capcom game. They're just out here fucking killing it with an 85. Got him 15 points. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Were you going to say something?
Did you play Monster Hunter Stories 3 yet?
No. Did you give it to me?
Yeah.
This is me checking to make sure he didn't lie to me.
You put it in your wallet when I gave it to you.
And then I put it in my case. I do have it. All right, sick. But no, I did not play it yet.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I played the first one briefly when this one was getting announced, and I was like, damn, this is a really cool game. I'm in.
Yep.
So that got 15 points. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, I hope we'll hear something about it. Around SGF. Nintendo usually does some kind of presentation around this time, at like their June showcase, so hopefully we get a date for this. This was the DLC for Ninja Gaiden 4. It's not getting scored. I think there's only one score up, which is a 70, and that came out in March, so I don't think anyone's going to be going back for that one.
Honestly, it might be better for him that it doesn't get scored.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. So, he'll keep it. Tides of Annihilation. I knew that this game wasn't this year. I honestly don't even know if it's 2027.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. And Replace got him 7 points. But he counterpicked Pokemon Winds and Waves, so that got him 0 points, which is, again, probably your best bet for a counterpick. As you can see, only one counterpick so far has not lost somebody points, so it's probably your best bet when you're doing shit like that. So we'll see what else he picks up. I don't think this is a terrible-looking board, because he can drop Tides of Annihilation, and I think Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is going to do good, so we'll see if he can find 5 other games that are going to be good. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep going because we got to Joe Frome with Kojima Product Sons, which is an awesome name. Fuck this guy. Why did I even let him in? It's fucking insane. Neo 3, 85. Pragmata, 86. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, 83. Reanimal, 80. Trails in the Sky second chapter. We both mentioned it. Probably an 87 from what we're guessing. I'd be shocked if it's this low. That's coming September 17th. Mina the Hollower, the highest rated game of this year, 93. Vampire Crawlers, 84. Ace Combat 8, Wings of Thief, 2026. Doesn't have a date yet. Resonance of Plague Tale Legacy, 2026. Doesn't have a date yet. And Deltarune, Chapter 5, 2026. Doesn't have a date yet. Also counterpicked Witchbrook, which doesn't have a date yet. So he might not even lose points from it. So, Jesus Christ, dude. I don't really have anything else to say about this guy except
He
fuck
made
him.
some good picks.
He made some damn good picks, dude. Like,
yeah, that's about it.
Jesus Christ. Shout out. I was so pissed that he picked up Trails in the Sky second chapter, because when it was coming back around, I was like, oh, I can get this as my final pick. And he grabbed it. And I'm like, God fucking damn it.
Yep. I was mad that Nick got Fable. Not mad about that anymore. And I think that's the only one. I think I thought Procopia was going to do well, but I didn't grab it in time. And I'm trying to think. I actually had Crimson Desert last year and lost points, or got 0 points because it didn't come out last year.
Yeah.
It performed pretty good, but like,
right.
I mean, I wouldn't turn down like 9 points, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was going to grab Forza Horizon 6, and I'm mad about that one too.
That is fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think we have 3 boards left to talk about, and one of them a couple of them have games that I was going to take as well. We have
You want to go down to Angie and then just get back to end with the two of us?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Is it not Angie?
Ambi. Yeah.
I'm dumb.
You know what? I'm clipping that out and just sending it to her.
Yeah.
She's gonna have a field day with that one. So our friend Ambi, player is a catchy fucker 69. She's that kind of person. Todd is my god 69 for whatever fucking reason. You're probably looking at this board and thinking, wow, why? But Tomodachi Life, living the dream. Brother, let me explain something to you, okay? When we were drafting, we spun a wheel for all 9 people, and that's how we determined the order this year, because we had some new people in it. And we got Joker first, and then Ambi was dead last. She was the 9th place pick. So or the 9th draft pick. And because this wasn't we were doing this in December, so the year hadn't even started. So we were all just like, we could take our time, I'll ping you when it's your turn to draft and stuff like that. Like, it's no big deal. And we started it, and Joker was taking a day or two, and she texted me. She's like, when are we going to tell Joker to pick? We have to give him a time limit. Maybe by the end of today, just auto pick for him. And I'm like, I'm going to need you to calm down here.
Yeah, it's not
last
that serious.
Place. Not last place. I guess Nick came last place. But I was like, what the hell is going on? And she was like, I don't know. I'm just really nervous that someone's going to take my pick. And I'm like,
what are you possibly going to pick? Yeah.
I was like, you can tell me what your first round draft pick is, and I'll lock myself out of picking it no matter what it is. Because I promise you, whatever your brain is doing is not what anyone else is. And she's like, I just don't want anyone else to take Tomodachi Life, living the dream from me. And I'm like, sweetie, there's only one person on this fucking game that knows what that game is.
Yeah.
And that person isn't going to pick it if they had 15 picks before it.
Yeah.
You're safe. So that was really funny. But it got down to her, and she was so happy to pick this game. And honestly, 79 was a lot higher than I thought it was going to score.
Yeah.
This was a weird-ass looking game, but you know what? It knows what it is, and it does it well.
Yep.
So, shout out Tomodachi Life. And, dude, I was so furious with her, because I was like, oh, Tomodachi Life, I wonder what she's going to pick next. Phantom Blade Zero? Fuck you!
That's a real game.
That's a real fucking game. I wanted that, and that wasn't my first round pick. I picked 007 First Light because I was between those 2 games, and I was like, she's not going to pick Phantom Blade Zero. I can get that on the way back up. And then she picked it, and I'm like...
Yeah, I was considering taking Mouse PI for hire, and she got it.
81. Not bad.
Yeah.
Stupid Never Dies doesn't have a release date. Probably better for her. Witchbrook doesn't have a release date. That does suck for her. I Am Jesus Christ.
I don't know what she's expecting with that one.
Yeah, no. She's just being a little jokester.
Yep. She's mad like that. She that's also funny to me, because it's like you're annoyed that you're not annoyed, but like you're scared that somebody is going to take Tomodachi Life because you really want that game. You think it's going to be amazing, yada yada, and then you're picking other random bullshit as jokes, and it's like, then why does it matter what you grab before that if you're just going to throw the whole thing away?
I mentioned that to her recently, and I was like, it seems like you pivoted real hard on what your goal was for the year. She's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, you were picking Tomodachi Life because you really wanted a game that you wanted, but then you also picked Phantom Blade Zero and Mouse PI for Hire, which are arguably decent picks. And I was like, are you trying to win? Because picking up Starfield DLC is not what you do to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean,
apparently the DLC is not bad. Well, apparently it's not terrible.
Standards?
Yeah,
okay,
for Starfield standards. I think it added a lot of stuff as not part. I think the problem with it is like the DLC itself is not amazing, but with it they released a free update as not part of the DLC that fixed a lot of things that people had with Starfield as a whole. So people liked that.
Okay,
which
that's
would not affect the reviews of the DLC.
See,
so it's like,
yeah, okay, fair. That's interesting. Yeah, no, I don't know much about it. I mean, I don't know much about Life is Strange either. Like, but 73 did shock me because I thought Life is Strange reviews higher, so I was kind of shocked that scored so low. But again, if this doesn't get scored, that'll probably be better for her. I think she just wanted Todd on her board, hence the name Todd is my God 69.
Yeah.
But she still has 2 picks to grab, and again, counterpick was not a bad counterpick. That's a pretty damn good one. Unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer. I'll get to that one. Since my board is right above, I'll just go over mine.
Okay.
Spirit in Black with Square Penix. That is my favorite name, dude. I'm a genius. I'm so funny.
Yeah.
My first round pick was 007 First Light, which got me an 88. Fucking shocked. Forza Horizon 6 with a 91. Randy.
Fuck you.
I picked up Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties because most of the time the floor of a Yakuza game are high 70s, low 80s. This one, I should have realized it sooner, considering all the bad press and bullshit surrounding it, which was really... I shouldn't have picked it, but I did anyway, because I love Yakuza. Then I picked up Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, 81. That's probably the ceiling of what I could ask for with that, so I'm happy with it. Unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer. So, as you can tell, this is the counterpick symbol, as you've probably seen. So, Ambi had counterpicked it, so I can't drop it. I don't think we even saw this symbol last year. This was a delay in contention. There are very credible reports that this game has been delayed and therefore will not release this year. The game is still counted as a will release game for draw purposes, but it cannot be counterpicked, just like a will not release game cannot be counterpicked. Unfortunately, this was part of my initial draft, so it was counterpicked. So I can't drop it.
Yep.
I'm still holding out hope. There's always the chance that Nintendo will come out in a week and be like, hey, by the way, our holiday game, 3D Mario, not the other stuff. It ain't likely, and I'm not holding my breath. I'm still betting 2027 for it now, but
yeah.
Oh well. That was a risky move. That was like because everyone else took my games. Like literally my top 3 games that I wanted were Neo 3, Pragmata, and Phantom Blade Zero past what I picked. Well, and Control Resonant, but we'll get to that. So I was like, all right, I guess I just got to take a risky move, and it did not pay off this time. But I picked up Beast of Reincarnation, which is slated for August 4th. That's obviously a very ballsy pick. This is my most anticipated game of the year. I'm just crossing my fingers because I want this game. I want this game to do well, both I want it to do well critically because I just want Game Freak to have a winning game to be talked about in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
I have high hopes for this one, but that's a personal thing more than anything. I picked up Kena Scars of Cosmora because Kena Bridge of Spirits I think scored pretty well, so it's slated for 2026 as long as it gets a release date. I think it'll do well. Castlevania Belmont's Curse. I know nothing about Castlevania, but this does seem like people are really fucking hyped for this game, and hopefully it's 2026. I was like, you know what? I already have unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer. Let's go ahead and double down and do unannounced The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake.
There is a lot of speculation about it though, so maybe.
Especially because the leaker that mentioned it also mentioned Star Fox remake. Yep. Or new Star Fox game. So being that the new Star Fox game was real, this seems more likely that it could be. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And then I picked up Stranger Than Heaven because I have 2 games to drop. I was like, on the very, very slim off chance this game actually does get released in winter 2026 and not February 2027, I'll pick it up for now. And if anything gets announced in SGF that looks better, I'll drop it and just pick up whatever else.
Yeah.
And then I counterpicked John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, as we talked about earlier, and that lost me 3 points. So not bad. That was probably as close to even as I could get.
Yep.
And then we come to Randy's board. How do you pronounce the name?
Dixoculus. It's based on, for anybody who plays RuneScape, there's a boss in old school RuneScape called Dukes who I've killed I think around 1,700 times now for a pet that I haven't gotten. So
yeah,
I'm not even dry is the crazy thing.
You'll get there eventually.
Eventually. Yeah, I love that boss though. But so that's that. I guess I'll go with my own board. First up, I picked Control Resonant. I mean, I just feel like that's a solid pick.
It's going to be
yeah,
game of the year contender for sure when it comes
it's
out.
estimated 2026 right now, so
I think we're going to get that release date. SGF, I think it's going to be a September game.
The Duskbloods, also 26. I feel like FromSoft never reviews like.
Let me fucking tell you, the balls.
Yeah.
The fucking testicles that you had to text me, be like, I am counterpicking 007 First Light immediately. Fuck you. What do you mean?
Fair enough, but FromSoft never really reviews poorly.
That's because they don't do multiplayer-only games on a Nintendo console.
That's fair. But hey, look, they don't really... It's projected right now at an 84. The thing is, will it come out this year? That's what they said.
It's projected for an 84. It's projected for an 84 because they've never released a Nintendo-exclusive multiplayer title before.
Hey, I'm going to clip this if this game comes out and it's really good.
Absolutely. Clip it, and you can make fun of me. I'm so... I mean, listen, like I said, FromSoft... But, like, the thing that doesn't make any sense... They don't optimize their games well. You're taking a company that doesn't optimize their games well and then putting it on the least optimized console.
For optimizing it, like, horribly.
Yeah, but...
They do weird stuff with it, like locking the frame rates and things, but, like, I feel like it's never really dips too... Like, I don't think people really had a problem with Elden Ring.
They did on the Switch too when they had to try the demo for it.
Yep, okay, but then they came back a year later and it's running a lot better now. So
it took them a year. We'll see.
Yeah, but they also never like had a release date for it or anything. So
hold on, calm down.
Yeah.
I also don't like From Software, so let me have this one for now.
But anyway, I think it's a good pick. I think it. Yeah.
No, it's safe.
If it comes out.
It's a good pick. But it wasn't good enough for you to text me about 007 First Light, you piece of shit, and then to come around and pick this right after.
That. Yeah, I know. I'll fully admit I was so wrong about that game. I still don't think it looks amazing, and it's not for me. But I was very wrong about the general consensus on it.
But yeah,
Eugenics, great pick. Apparently, I thought it was going to do well. I didn't think it was going to do that well.
89. Shout out. That looks
really. We're about to really get into the problem with my board now. Nothing has release dates.
No, not a single one. Again, I think we're going to get release dates for two of these games. Does Metro have a release date? No, just this one.
They said winter, and I saw that, and I was like, hell yeah, and then I picked it. We'll get to that. Gears of War E-Day. I think we're about to get a release date, and I don't think it's going to do bad. So I think this is a fine pick.
Yeah.
Pokemon Winds and Waves, I obviously picked before they announced that it's coming out in 2027, and it got counterpicked before then.
Yep.
I thought that was a safe bet at the time because
we all did.
The 30th anniversary of Pokemon is a perfect time for a new Pokemon game to come out. It wasn't even announced that it was Winds and Waves, obviously, at the time. But I was like, 30th anniversary of Pokemon, they're going to have something. Even Scarlet and Violet didn't review terribly, and they should have been.
Even they were in the 70s. So
yeah, so like I thought it was a safe pick there, and also like with it being like the longest time between mainline entries, I thought it was a shoo-in.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of happy it is coming out next year. Maybe they're actually like putting some effort into it because you know damn well they wanted to market it with like the 30th year everything. But
yeah, so the fact that it's not is either a testament to the fact that they're trying to get it right, or a testament to the fact that they can't get it right. But that's because I have no faith in them. But we'll see what happens.
That's so fair.
It's one of the others, but
Fallout 3 something. So this was part of that like massive leak.
The amount of uncertainty in the title itself is rough. Yeah. But
so here's the thing. Here, my line of reasoning with this. It was part of that massive leak that had a lot of things, that like Microsoft thing that had a lot of things that came true. And it's so hard for me to like be like, I should drop this and give up on it entirely, because Bethesda did the same thing with Oblivion, where they shadow dropped it. It was also, I think, part of that leak, wasn't it? And it got shadow dropped. So this could just come out at some point. Like,
I'm just saying, we could see it Sunday with SGF.
We could, yeah.
Right at the end, it could be hey, so we're going to be going into Gears of War E-Day's presentation. But before we do that, we've got one more thing. And then you see the Bethesda logo show up. It could happen.
It could. So, like, I'm like, it's still not announced, and I feel like its window might be closing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Orbitals, I'm very excited for. Again,
that game is going to be sick.
This one does say summer 2026, so we might see this at SGF.
This is a Nintendo exclusive, right?
Was it?
I'm almost positive. Let me just check really quick. I'm pretty sure it was a Switch 2 exclusive. Yeah, it's a
launching
Nintendo.
on Switch 2. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So whatever Nintendo's typical June showcase is,
yeah,
we'll probably see it.
Probably see this. I feel like this is a solid pick. It looks really good. I'm actually pretty excited for this.
Yeah.
Clockwork Revolution.
Not this year.
Not this year, probably not.
Yeah.
I honestly have to drop it.
Maybe not even 2027. They did have a lot of gameplay shown off when they did show it for the first time last year, so I'm more confident that it's 2027 than anything else. But
yeah, with the amount of gameplay and everything they showed off for it, I was pretty confident it was going to be this year. But then it's just been radio silence. So
yeah, that's fair. And again, I could totally see us getting something from it from the showcase. If this game gets shown off at like the Xbox showcase at SGF and has a 2026 release date, I'll probably look at it and be like, you got this done, but not Fable. But also, cool, because it looked fun.
Yeah, it's
good. One of those games.
And I'm also Metro 2039. Okay, well, actually, first of all, really quick about Clockwork Revolution. 71 as a projected is that's insane.
That's why I don't really look at projected points too, because I think what it more so is kind of tabulating is like, do you know who's making this game? I don't know the studio offhand.
I don't remember.
Because like, if I had to, especially with like a new IP, what I'm guessing they're using projected points off of is like probably maybe an aggregate score of what the devs typically get, or if it's from a known franchise, they look at the franchise, probably pick stuff from there. Because like some of the projected points makes absolutely no sense. Like,
yeah,
because not for nothing, I do think Control Resonant is going to score highly, but like having a like 17 points is a lot for that. I feel. What was Pokemon Winds and Waves?
Okay, so really quick, the company that's making it is Inxile, Inxile Entertainment. They've made what? Oh, in Exile. Yeah, but no E. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In Exile, I guess. They made Wasteland 3, which reviewed amazing. Wasteland Remastered. They also did, and Wasteland, just pretty much the whole Wasteland series. They also did the Bard's Tale series, which I don't think did that well. So,
that's interesting.
Well, I think the older ones did, but the more recent one did not.
There are
a couple random things in there.
Wasteland is an RTS, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Bard's Tale is a turn-based game.
They also made no. Wasteland is a turn-based game. Wasteland's kind of like Baldur's Gate.
Oh, right. That's the right.
They also made Torment: Tides of Numenera, which I didn't play, but I think it reviewed decently. Yeah, I think that's another like turn-based game.
So this is very much out of their wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That could also be part of why it's projected so low.
But they've also made some good games, so
yeah.
So
that's why like projected points are not always the best thing to go off of. But because I agree with you. The fact that this is only slated for a 71 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, based on what we've seen so far, at least. And then Metro 2039. I'm worried just because I saw the announcement for this. I wanted to jump on it. I love Metro. They always review pretty well too. So like I was hyped. I grabbed this immediately. And then after I grabbed it, I noticed they had said winter 20, or they had just said this winter. They didn't put a year.
Right.
And I was like, this winter could also be January or February. Yeah. And I didn't think of that until after grabbing it. Yeah. And I'm honestly pretty sure it will be January or February. Thinking about it.
Another game that's kind of like pushing to your point. Like if we pushed Fable to February, it's already potentially going up against Metro 2039, Stranger Than Heaven, Persona 4 Revival. Again, games that aren't necessarily in the same vein as what Fable is, but it's already getting stacked to the point of like.
And it's already not that different than from what they were originally having then. So
yeah. So
other than GTA.
Right.
And then I have one free space, so I'm gonna draft probably during a little after SGF or maybe during SGF, depending on how quick things go up. And
yeah. Hell yeah.
Hopefully some of the stuff that I have gets release dates. I think my projected is a little lower that I'll probably get if these things come out.
Yeah, because like so we have projected points for Jerome in first, for Black Belt in second, for me in third. Not too far behind because again, with Persona 4 Revival being 11, I'm only 5 points behind second place.
Yeah.
I'm in third, Bloodtrip for fourth with 89, Joker for fifth with 83, Biggest Stonk sixth for 78. Seventh place is Nick with 74. 8th place is you with 73, and then 9th place Ambi with 58. Like by far the biggest drop off.
Yeah,
because everyone else is like relatively close. Like
I think if my games come out, I have a solid shot at like 4th.
Yes, I believe that. Yeah, because again, Control Resin for sure is going to score well. Duskbloods, as much as I want to think that it's not going to score well, it'll do well enough. FromSoft fans will make sure of it, even if it's bad. They'll be like, it's not bad. It's just yeah, that's true. Gears of War
genuinely think it looks fun though to me, from what I've seen.
Shut the fuck up. That's fair. I mean, we'll probably see more of it soon. Well, here's the question, because I forget what we talked about. SGF happening. Do you think we see FromSoft's next single player experience? Because I
feel like they can't.
You don't think so?
I feel like you can't announce the Duskbloods, go radio silent, pop up like a month ago, say it's still 2026, but still have nothing else about it to show or anything since the initial like release, and then show a different game at SGF. You can't do that. I would hope they don't do that. That seems like an asshole move.
I guess because the question is like, why is it so radio silent? Is it because of something on their end? Is it because Nintendo's end? Like, I'm assuming they haven't said anything because they want to be saying stuff during Nintendo Directs. And when was the last Nintendo Direct now? Did we have one in April? I don't think we did.
Wasn't it? I think we had oh no, that was a Star Fox. Like,
yeah, that was just like a quick thing. So like, I'm assuming we'll probably hear about it in the next Nintendo Direct.
I would assume, to be honest, radio silence, because I think Nintendo wanted to have more to show to get people hyped about the Switch 2, and they probably announced the game too early.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they can't get it to work.
I feel like if you're starting a game for only the Switch 2, it's probably not that hard to just get it. Like,
we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, look, it might have performance problems, but I think a lot of times when you have performance problems in games, it's because a lot of times it's multi-platform and you're trying to develop things for all these different specifications. So it's a lot easier when you're focusing on one specific set of hardware to get a game working on just that hardware.
So like, as much as I say like it's probably gonna be hard because Nintendo connections are usually generally pretty fucking awful. Yeah. It honestly probably balances out the difficulty because you're only developing it for one really shitty server. But
I mean, hey, you're talking about like online service in that regard. Yeah, that's service. Too. I was talking about like just general performance. But
right, yeah.
I think honestly with the Switch 2, I have played some multiplayer stuff. I haven't had any problems. Like Mario Kart has been really good online. So
yeah, especially compared to like how the Switch 1 servers were. It is leagues better. I don't think I've experienced many drop-offs, and anything that I have, I don't think has been the server. I think it's just the game that I've been playing on the Switch.
Yeah, the game, or my connection goes a little bad for a second. So it's so I think they're set up to make at least a decent game here.
No, definitely.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Like I said, for the Duskbloods to legitimately do badly, a lot of things need to go really wrong in a row for them, and I don't think that'll happen. I think it's less likely.
I think we still need to see like how general gameplay, like, because from what I've seen, it looks like a weird mix of PvP and PvE. If they just make it an extraction game, that's worrying. But it looks like it could be interesting and something different. So
yeah,
we'll see if different's good thing or bad thing.
Yeah, and you know what? They tried it with Elden Ring Night Rain, and at the if having a multiplayer kind of online experience, if that was kind of their testing ground for it, I think they've learned some things from that to make the Duskbloods better. So
yeah, I need more progression. Again, that was the thing with Night Rain that I didn't enjoy.
And we'll see. Do we know anything about Duskbloods in terms of that? I don't think we really have many details.
I don't think we have enough details for that yet.
So we'll see what happens. Again, what I would guess whatever Nintendo does next, we'll probably hear about it there. Especially if Nintendo gets a direct out before the SGF presentation, I could see us getting Duskbloods information there, and then maybe getting the next FromSoft thing. The supposed pirate game that we've been kind of hearing mumblings about. I think that'd be such
a cool idea, so I really hope they actually do that.
It might actually be a FromSoft game that I try for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect setup, like a perfect premise for one of those. So
yeah, just so you guys understand, I've played Elden Ring for like 15 hours. I did not just play for 5 minutes and say this is not for me. I did. I have.
I mean, hey, to each their own. I don't like The Witcher, so
yeah. You know what? Fair point. But with that, that's the Fantasy Critic League. Go ahead and start your own. Get some friends together. Please leave a comment. Let us know who you think is going to come in last. Don't tell us anything else. Just tell us who's in last and why it's Ambi.
And then tell us why we're idiots for the games that we picked.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because everyone's picked at least one. Everyone's picked at least one bad game so far.
Yeah. It's funny because I think the one that's the only one that will wins in waves, like looking back at it, is a terrible pick. But I'm like, at the time, I really don't think it was a dumb decision.
No, especially compared to some of the other ones on the board. I mean, like, I'm also very low on what Game Freak can do with
but review-wise.
But I mean,
I can't say it's too terrible.
I mean,
and
you're right.
I genuinely think it doesn't look bad. I still have a little bit of like copium in there, so
yeah, it's copium.
It's copium. I know.
It's copium.
I know. I just don't care.
That's fair. That is fair. Which again, I'm just throwing it out there. This motherfucker is out here being like, I don't think Gen 10 looks that bad, and then was like, 007 First Light. Get the fuck out of here.
It looks so generic from that first from what.
And then picked up the Dust Bloods.
It looks so generic, and we saw performance problems in the trailer for it.
I will. No, 100%.
It was not a good showing for what it ended up being a good game.
No, even now, I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Everyone would be like, and then whatever the fuck the next bit of information was when like Xbox was like, hey, we're gonna have a special showing of 007 at our showcase, and then the showcase happened, and the special showing was, you have James Bond's car coming to 007 First Light, and it was like a 5-second snippet of him driving it that wasn't gameplay, and then they just moved on, and we were like,
yeah, so you cannot blame me for thinking that looked like dog shit.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Well, like I said, that's the Fantasy Critic League. Go check it out if it looks like fun. It's really cool to get your friends together and just have some fun with it. Try and get some games. I don't think next year will be nearly as difficult because we'll probably have release dates for games since GTA 6 will probably already be out. You guys can clip that as well for when GTA gets delayed again for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to. I think it's.
I'm pretty. Yeah, I think that's why like people are moving their game releases and stuff. I think insiders in the industry know like it's not getting delayed again.
Yeah, 100%. So, with that being said, that'll be it for today's episode. You're probably watching this when it releases on June 1st, Monday, June 1st. Don't forget, June 8th will not have an episode released. We're going to reformat some things, really try and work hard to get it down to an hour. Today was pretty good, even with the news that we talked about. So I'm proud of us for once. And we'll continue on with the series on June 15th. Got some cool ideas, so hopefully we'll try and work some stuff in. Randy?
Sean, do you have an ending yet?
Not even close.